Welcome to another episode of I Wonder, Doctor.
Let's talk about what makes sugar so bad.
I guess we all sort of know that somehow sugar is bad. And I think we also all know that diabetes and sugar, that's certainly bad. But at least if I speak for myself, I don't know why sugar is bad.
Well, let's start with sugar or blood glucose is good.
Huh.
In fact, it's absolutely essential to be alive because, as I mentioned before, our brains can only use sugar to produce energy.
Yeah.
Muscles and other organs can also use fats and amino acids and proteins. In fact, they prefer it,
Yeah.
but not the brain, can only use sugar. So it's really the proper amount of sugar and the right type of sugar from the right carbohydrates that really matter.
I see.
And let me describe what happens with that sugar. You digest it, it goes into the blood, it makes it to the brain, for example, and it enters the cells and undergoes a biochemical reaction called oxidation. That's called burning. That's what happens in a gasoline engine. And from that oxidation, the combining with oxygen, there's these chemical byproducts that occur, and they're called oxidative byproducts or free radicals, and they need to be managed.
So this is a little bit like the exhaust in a car. We burn the fuel, and what's left behind is, in this case, I guess, the oxidants.
Almost. What's different is when you burn the fuel in a car, you just pass it out the exhaust pipe into the atmosphere. You don't process it.
Yeah.
In the human body, the minute that oxidation occurs, those free radicals, those chemically very reactive chemicals, have to be managed right away. Otherwise, they'll damage.
Got it.
Oxidative byproducts,
Yeah.
or free radicals,
Yeah.
are quenched, so to speak, by antioxidants. And where are they coming from? Well, they're plentiful and abound in fresh, healthy fruits and vegetables.
Interesting. I've heard the term antioxidant a lot, and I associated it with being good, but I guess I didn't know exactly what an antioxidant did. It's there to handle the oxidants coming off of the burning of sugars.
Precisely.
Huh.
And if there's not enough antioxidants, or there's an excessive amount of oxidation that can occur with sustained levels of blood glucose,
Yeah.
those chemically reactive oxidants got to react with something, and they will. They'll react with tissues, such as the arterial wall and other tissues and organs in the body. In fact, a lot of the long-term consequences of diabetes are initiated by the oxidation that occurs and not handled, the oxidative byproducts that are not handled.
Got it.
And it's not the only thing that happens. Excessive levels of glucose in the blood itself,
Yeah.
where does it go? What does it do? It's just not hanging out there. It starts combining with proteins, for example, in the blood. So, for example, hemoglobin, which is in red cells,
Yeah.
which carries our oxygen, that excessive glucose is going to be forced into combination with the hemoglobin. It's called glycosylation. And it's not the only molecule that can get glycosylated, but it's an interesting one because it's easy to measure. And medical profession does it all the time. You want to assess how much diabetes is going on in a person? Measure their glycosylated hemoglobin, hemoglobin A1C. In fact, you'll see it, anyone who's getting their blood tested, on very routine blood tests for diabetics.
So let me see if I understand this. The first thing that happens is that we burn that sugar. That's good. When we burn that sugar, it produces oxidants. The oxidants are fine as long as there are antioxidants to handle it. So if there's a balance problem there, you have a problem. Too many oxidants, not enough antioxidants, that's a problem. And the other thing I think I heard you say is that that sugar floating around in the blood, when there's too much of it, in and of itself, it's going to go somewhere, and where it goes is into other important elements that are floating around in the blood, like you said, hemoglobin, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even other important elements in the body.
Yeah.
The moral of all this is learn about what produces excessive levels of glucose in the blood and do things about that.
Okay, we're a couple into the series already, and you've sort of left out a word that I would imagine is key in everybody's mind, at least it is in mine, and that's insulin. Somehow insulin plays a part in all we've been talking about, doesn't it?
It sure does. It plays a central role in all of this.
Yeah.
And I promise to get to it in an upcoming I Wonder Doctor video.
All right, great. There are more videos in this series available in our weekly school. Click to join. It's free.